And then walkers is another one, and of course, we do allow oxygen in service animals. We see some of that. When you think about the paratransit, I mentioned paratransit demand response. It's two different words really for the same type of service. But paratransit is associated with what is required by the federal government. So federal government says if you operate a fixed route, you must also operate a paratransit service, which is there for persons with disabilities that can't access the fixed route system. So this kind of shows a division between how much paratransit service is operated as compared to how much requests those that are outside the fixed route service area, or either early in the morning or late in the evening would be that demand response ridership. And if you look at our performance statistics, you can see from 2006 to 2015, we've kind of had a steady increase. If you look in 2008, you can see there was a pretty high ridership number there. That's when gas prices were up around $4 a gallon. We're really close to it. So gas prices do have an effect on public transportation. What happened here in 2014 is we started seeing so much of that demand response request, and you saw that pie chart. It was squeezing out some of the ADA, and really it was cutting down our ability to provide the federally required services. So we had to look at a fare increase to kind of trim that service down, and we feel like it's done that. Now our demand response ridership has actually gone down, but many of those passengers are actually transferring to the fixed routes and now using the fixed routes. We have paper application process that we say you need to do that, but nothing seems to work like money. Money makes a big difference. And what that's done is it's actually opened up more avenue now for the paratransit users. So we're back in line with our requirements for the federal grant, but our overall ridership has suffered from that to some degree. So, that's why we're working on some incentives. And one that you all might be interested in that we're working on right now, and will be coming up on Wednesday, and then it'll go to the board of directors, is a discount for students, UAFS, down to 75 cents a ride. So that's what we're trying to get to now. Our long-term goal is to try to get where students can ride free with a student ID. That would be our long-term effect and goal. And we're hoping that would help boost ridership. So we're really working and trying to encourage school transportation, both the elementary and high school and college as well. You look a little bit about our survey statistics. Most people ride transit because they don't have access to a vehicle. That's not a secret. That is something, if you don't have car keys, you got to have a way to get around, and certainly transit work fits that mold. And it's not always just you don't have a car. There are many times people have surgeries or are restricted from driving for whatever reason, and they have to turn to public transportation, and they find usually it's a good source, and so that's kind of a growing thing for us. A mechanism is being able to get on there for whatever reason. But social interaction is another one. Elderly people like to get out and associate with others, so this is a good method to do it on the bus system. It's close network, so you get to visit with people. Gas prices and parking is another. When you think about where people are going or why they're using it, work and medical and recreation, all those kind of are pretty consistent. You can see our school is at 20%. That's one of the reasons that we're really striving to pick up participation in the schools and provide incentives that would allow for increased ridership. If you think about, what are the satisfaction levels, you can see that the very satisfied is this orange band, so and the satisfied is the blue band. I think generally most everyone is satisfied with the service we provide. What we do see is just a lot of requests for more service and faster service. that, but budget plays a big part into what we do. When you think about some of the just written explanations of what we'd like to see, it's the very things I just mentioned, plus amenities. You know, we had a strong surge of requests for amenities. And then at the time we were doing this survey, there was a request for better bus maintenance. We were just transitioning out of our older equipment into newer equipment. And, you know, we didn't invest a whole lot of money into equipment that was getting ready to be put up for the auction. Enough to keep it safe, but some of the other stuff was, you know, we couldn't get those buses in quick enough. So, that actually reflected in the survey.